Restoring Men and History. Perseverance, important for you men to have it, and you need to build it up. Increase in perseverance. Webster's dictionary defines it as a continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition. And you're probably going to have all of those in your life, right? You're going to face difficulties, failure, and opposition. So as men, you need to be able to overcome that with this magnificent virtue, one of my favorites, by the way, for men, perseverance. And we're going to look and make a lot of comments, probably, read a little bit of this article, and then add a lot to it, I think. So look, 3 reasons why. Why is perseverance so important to you men? If you like this video, like it. It helps the algorithm. And please subscribe. Pass to your friends and share it. Thank you and have a magnificent day. So why is perseverance so important to you men? We'll read this article by Sylvia, trackinghappiness.com. 3 reasons why perseverance is so important. We're going to be making a lot of comments through this and augmenting it for you gentlemen. January 29th, 2023. 3 reasons why perseverance is so important and 6 ways to improve it. I don't know if we'll get to all of them. I'll get to what we need to get through. So Confucius said this: it does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you do not stop. Now, gentlemen, that is the point. Do not stop. Unless you need to change your tactics or strategy, or unless you don't want that goal anymore, right? Don't stop unless you want to. What he was getting at is perseverance, the ability to persist with a goal despite experienced difficulties. And you're going to have to do that in life. The people who tell you you're not going to have to face that are not helping you. Opting out or saying I'm this or that, so I can't do it, is not helping you either. In other words, playing the victim will not help you, okay? You're to this, you're to that. That won't help you achieve your goals, okay? You're not too old, you're not too young, you're not too this or that, okay? Now, why is this so important, she says? The answer is more complex. Perseverance, well, we gave you Webster's. What does she say? Simply put, perseverance means finishing what you start. I like that. That's pretty good. And pushing forward despite setbacks and complications. All right, Winston Churchill pushed forward during World War II with the Nazis, right? To protect his people. But by the way, he had a big why, right? Churchill had a big why on why he had to keep going. He has that famous quote too. Maybe we'll get to it. She goes on to say this includes putting in the effort and practice, learning from failure. Now let's stop there, learning from failure. So look, is it really failure if you get better? You get 5% better every year, you're going to be better if you learn from it. Let's go into that, learning from failure. You should be able to learn something if you're persevering and take away something from trying things and failing. If you even consider it failure, there's a different perspective to look at failure. Maybe you're just getting better. It will make you better, probably. Enduring discomfort, what? That enables you to endure it better the next time, making it easier for you, right? Seeing challenges as a positive light. How are you going to view this? What is your perspective? Are you getting better? If you're getting better, but you're getting constantly knocked up and getting back up, what do they say in that Batman film, Batman Begins? What do we do when we fall, Bruce? Pick yourself back up, right? So, look, there's ways to view yourself. If you're getting better, that's fantastic. Prioritizing long-term goals over immediate gratification. This is a big one to us. Delay gratification for your big why. Set long-term goals so you can achieve them. It's related to other goals, she says: motivation, determination, resilience. We've talked about resilience. We'll go into that more. Researchers agree that these terms, and there's a lot of research in here, are distinct and have their own definitions. Perseverance is a key component of another quality that you may have heard a lot, grit. Now, we like this grit. There's a book on grit. The concept is defined as perseverance plus passion. So we've talked about your passion. Benefits of perseverance. It won't surprise you that perseverance has tons of benefits. After all, it's hard to get anything good in life without working at it for a while, right? And you're going to get better again. Look, don't get always caught up in the outcomes. Get caught up in the interior. Are you getting better? Are you learning? Are you preparing yourself better for trials, tribulations, and what's coming? So think of any goal you've already reached, she says, and then you consider that to be a positive outcome of perseverance. It was surely part of the mix. Health, she talks about your health here. Is it good for your health? Here's another why. Yes, perseverance, and there's a bunch of studies here. We're not going to go in, maybe we'll come back and go into some of them. But she's looked at all these studies. Important health and happiness benefits come directly from perseverance. Decreased stress, that's good, right? Decreased anxiety. We've got an anxiety problem among men. We've told you what the problem is. Increased anxiety among men. So this decreases your anxiety. Why would that be? Well, if you're taking action towards something, you're going to feel better. And if you know you're not quitting, you're going to feel better, right? So that should decrease stress and anxiety because you're climbing toward your goal. You're getting better. Increased meaning in life. We always talk about purpose here. Men need a purpose. Men need a purpose. So increased emotional well-being. So look at all perseverance can do. Those are a lot of big whys for your health because you want to decrease stress. You want to decrease anxiety. You want more meaning in your life, right? Men need a purpose. Are there any downsides to perseverance? I don't think we need to go into this. She's saying too much of anything is good for nothing. I guess you could get out of balance and be so focused on a goal that here's since we focus on community, men's groups, and fellowship, you're so focused on a goal that you give up your male friends and you give up your men's groups and you don't contribute. That might be not fantastic for you because you're giving up another component of happiness, right? Fellowship, camaraderie. So let's go on. As researchers note, she's got a lot of research here, continuing to persevere in those situations can have damaging effects. Okay. Look, perseverance is outstanding. You're probably not going to run into the problem, of having too much of it. I think we're more working on getting you to have more of it right now. And I think that's the larger issue of the men that I've met. Ask yourself questions like, why? Okay, we always say have a big why. Why am I working toward this goal? So what goal are you trying to, are you trying to make a movie? Are you trying to write a song? Trying to write a book? Trying to start a business? Trying to provide for your family, your wife, meaning your wife and children, your family? Are the potential benefits worth the cost? Okay, that's something to look at. If you're having to give up every single friend and have no time for your girlfriend, your friends, your wife, your children, you might want to look at that. But again, man, it needs a purpose, so you're going to put a lot of energy into your purpose. 3 crucial reasons why perseverance is important. 1, it helps you reach your goals. Absolutely. In fact, perseverance is not talked about enough. You need perseverance. If you can have perseverance, it will set you above many other people, not you're trying to be above them. It will enable you to get your goals. Perseverance is a key to success. We can't emphasize it enough here. What would your life be like if you reached all your goals? Okay, so ask yourself that question. What would your life, imagine this in your head today at home, be like if you reached all your goals? What would it be? What would it be? Do you even know your goals? She says, take a moment to picture you. This is what perseverance can do. We believe that here. Talked about perseverance several times. It's in the very second video. Okay? Now we're going into a little more detail today. We're going to break all these virtues down. Several studies show that perseverance is an essential quality for life. Agree completely. Think about it. She's about to say what I was about to say. Talent and aptitude. What percentage, I'm going to say this, what percentage is factoring into your success? How much of it is perseverance? And how much is actually talent and aptitude? Perseverance can trump talent in many areas, not in all, but in many. Not saying you can be the greatest basketball player or something like that, but in many endeavors and in many businesses, your perseverance will enable you to defeat and overcome problems and adversity. Key component to learning. Learning is very important. We want you men to be mastering what? Skills. Learning. Getting better. Getting 5% better, 10% better, 1% better every year, right? By the way, you're only in competition with whom? With yourself, right? You don't need to be looking at others. Just say, I myself am going to be better December 31st, right? At the end of the year. Okay, without it, we get stuck at the first sign of difficulty. Okay, you watch people give up quickly and come to me and say, I should give up and quit. And I'll say, keep going, if that's what you want. We would make no progress. Perseverance helps us reach our goals. One, perseverance carries you through failures, right? We've talked about that. It's how you see it, right? It's perspective. How do you see failure? We just talked about that. It may never be pleasant. You can see it as a learning experience. Okay, yeah. If you learn something by keeping going, you're going to benefit. And you're going to get stronger, better as a man. Life doesn't just, perseverance helps you adapt. Life doesn't use you lemons. That's correct. Troubles are coming. Difficulties are coming if you're a man. You're going to have to overcome them. Perseverance helps you find ways to adapt, okay? It improves your mental health. We said that. One study showed that people who are more, and mental health is crucial to happiness, she says. We've already mentioned that. One study showed that people who were more perseverant were much less likely to suffer from depression and anxiety. And here's the study. There are dozens more with similar finds. So anything, if perseverance helps you with depression and anxiety, and today in America, we know that depression and anxiety are at some of the highest levels they've ever been in history, according to some of the things we've talked about. You can go back to that video. However, there are limits to how much perseverance. Everything should be used in moderation. Okay, it improves your relationships. How would it do that? Well, if you have perseverance, you can have that in relationships too, because you're also going to have trials with your wife or girlfriend, maybe with your male friends, maybe not so much. But you want to persevere in friendships and make time for your male friendships. Now, we're focused on male friendships. You want to do the same if you have a wife. Work out those problems. You can find better ways to communicate, adapt, forgive each other. Okay. Does perseverance alone lead to success? Well, it can make a large difference. And here she goes into this Angela Duckworth, Grit. We've seen the book. Explains that natural talents matters, Angela Duckworth, but perseverance is much more critical. I think that is true. I really do. You can look at different factors. How many filmmakers did you see that worked on a film for 10, 12 years and carry them around? What does it take to keep that going? I know a filmmaker, Jack Marino, who's still working on a project. He's never dropped it. Jack Marino has perseverance, okay? He has incredible perseverance. Kurt, my friend Kurt, sets up these film projects. He works on them for years. I say we could put a picture of Kurt and Jack in the Webster's Dictionary for perseverance, both of them. Our potential is one thing, what we do with it is another. That's Angela Duckworth, I believe. So it's clear it's an important part of the equation. Together, perseverance and passion make up what Angela Duckworth we define as what? So perseverance plus passion, Angela Duckworth defines as grit. So, right, if you have a big why, you can carry on. If you don't know why you're doing it, men, why are you going to keep going once you face all those adversities? Because they're going to hit you. This means your continued efforts are fueled by a constant and strong interest in your goals. 2018 study commented that there have been very contradictory results on the link between grit and success. The authors proposed many studies only reflect the perseverance side of grit and neglect the passion. Through their own research, they confirm that perseverance most accurately predicts success when the person also feels passion. So passion plus perseverance equals success over here, right? Perseverance will help you find success, but it's most important when you find your goal you are into. Real life examples of perseverance. There's a lot of people we could go into. George Washington had it, right? When he was dealing with the Winters and the Tories and the British and had to lead the revolution, Washington had to have grit. He had a passion for the country. So George Washington had grit, perseverance. He had a passion for this country, and he had kept persevering under horrific conditions up against the greatest empire, the British Empire. So George Washington, he had troops that weren't fed well. They got sick. They didn't have shoes sometimes. They were bloody in the snow. George Washington has a lot of perseverance. Let's go into one of her examples. She talks about Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is perhaps one of the most frequent examples of perseverance, and for good reason. Now, this is interesting about Edison. Throughout his whole life and many setbacks, he showed passion, inventing. When he was a boy, his parents pulled him out of school after his teachers called him stupid and unteachable. Let's stop here. If your parents or your teachers or other people call you stupid and unteachable, this is one of the greatest inventors of all time, Thomas Edison. Things didn't get much easier. When in his teenage years, he worked and got fired from a successive job. So school and working for other people may not fit your personality. So don't get down if you don't do well in school. We can go through that one day. But Dewey, Ford, and what they were trying to create in the school system were workers, right? And then the Prussian, they were trying to create good soldiers. So people who follow order. So a creative personality may not fit in schools. An inventor personality, an entrepreneur, a filmmaker may be very bored with school and sitting in a chair, restrained, especially men, right? So don't get down if you don't do well in school or haven't done well in school. And you don't have to go to an indoctrination center or college to do well. You can invent things, you can create things, you can build things. You're men. You can do it. All right? Despite his hardship, Edison never stopped inventing. He obtained a total of, get this, 1,093 patents throughout his career. Many of his inventions, like the light bulb, alkaline battery, were groundbreaking. But some were unsuccessful, right? But he kept going. How much effort, time, and energy? Edison considered his negative results just as valuable as positive ones. That's a good attitude, right? If you know you're getting better, you should be fine to having setbacks or failure, if you want to call it that. Really, it's to him, understanding what doesn't work was simply a part of finding out what does. And if you go through actions, you'll also what? Find what you're interested in. You have to take action to find your purpose, what you're interested in as a man. He said this, Thomas Edison, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways to make a light bulb that won't work. That's a magnificent attitude, right? And I read this about Thomas Edison. He was so, and I think we could attach something that she doesn't have here, flow. I bet Thomas Edison had flow. In other words, what is flow? When you get so involved in something, and this is a good way to find your purpose, what is it that you lose track of time? Flow. I bet he lost track of time. I know this from reading about Edison. He would take naps all the time, a lot of naps, and go right back to work. And he slept in his office so he could get right back up to work. So, and she goes on about Jack Canfield, like J.K. Rowling. Canfield's an author he found great success. He's creator of Chicken Soup of the Soul books. But his climb to success wasn't without challenge. He pitched the original Chicken Soup to over 130 different publishers. So this is what's important about perseverance. Setbacks instead of failure, right? That really wasn't failure. He got turned down 130 times, but he kept going. So it was never a failure, right? They were setbacks. So he had to hear the word no 130 times before he got the success. That's like telemarketing. You might make 100 calls, get one big yes that might make you a large paycheck. Same thing with trying to get a film sold or a script. He and his co-author kept trying until they found a small publisher in Florida. So he kept going. There are over 250 books in the series that have now sold over 500 million copies. And he got turned down all those times beforehand. So if he hadn't kept going, let's think about this. What would happen if he had quit? He would have never had that success. So we don't want you men to quit. And she goes on to say, how many lives did he inspire? I bet a lot. That's having an impact, right? And that's really what you want to do, right? Have an impact and make a difference. Help others, right? We at Restoring Men in History, what? We want to help others too. And especially the men in our groups, right? We want to be focused on our fellow knights and the men in the groups. Steve Jobs. I read a great biography about Steve Jobs. She talks about him here, but great biography about Stephen Jobs, his dedication and how he wanted to make it for the consumer and his focus on the consumer. Let's see what she says. Here, you always hear about grind it takes, but the need for perseverance. Steve Jobs, he became very successful. He started Apple when he was 20 years old. He has a great speech too. We should do that one. With only 10 years in the company, it became a $2 billion empire, $2 billion empire. But then Apple's board of directors decided to take things in a different direction. Jobs was fired from the company. Instead of viewing it as failure, he saw it as an opportunity for what? What do we talk about a lot? Freedom. Stephen Jobs saw that as an opportunity for freedom. So if you get fired, if you get let go, or if something fails, see that as you may not be in the right direction. See that as opportunity to do something new. You get fired from jobs, say, hey, this is an opportunity for me to get going on what I'm supposed to be doing in life. He later said that getting fired from his company was the best thing that ever happened. I remember that quote. I had read it, and I think it's in the biography. He did believe getting fired was the best thing that ever happened to him. And he had the re-experienced joy of starting a new company. He then went and found Next and Pixar. You've heard about Pixar. Next was then bought by Apple, and Jobs was what? Rehired. It came all back around. He won. He won because of perseverance. He didn't quit. You could have what? Stephen Jobs could have said, oh my gosh, the company I founded fired me. I'll just give up and quit. But he didn't. Stephen Jobs had perseverance, and he kept going. That's why we're trying to put in you men today, perseverance. When you got to go, go after it. The main takeaway is not the Jobs, but rather that he didn't view being fired as the reason to give up, right? It's your perspective in life. If you view getting fired, or if the country's in trouble and you view this as an opportunity to help save the republic, you see? You can see political problems as problems or opportunities. You can see things as problems or opportunities. 6 ways to improve your perseverance. Realizing that you're not a particularly perseverant. Here's some great news. Angela Duckworth, who researched and wrote extensively on grit and perseverance, says we can all work on our ability to persevere and become grittier. She picks out 4 ingredients. Now, we've talked about some of these. Interest, defining and following our passion. We talk about that. Restoring Men in History, right? We want you men to find your passion. By the way, let me just augment this. You don't have to have a passion to do well, and you don't even have to like what you're doing to do well. And it may be that you do something you don't like for a while to get ahead, to save money, before you get to do something you like. So let's be careful with this. You don't have to immediately follow your passion, but it can be good because it can propel you. If you can get in something right away that you're passionate about, I think it's good. You just may not be able to get to it. It doesn't mean you quit. It means you work your way there. Practice working on our weaknesses. We believe in this totally. We want you to set goals. Working on your weaknesses, or here's another alternative. You could bring in someone to help you build a company that they have strengths you don't have. Okay, so there's a balance to that. But purpose, desire to contribute to the world. We believe in purpose here, so that's a big one. Hope, believing that our efforts matter and can contribute to the future. Hey, listen, this is a big one for the youth today. Hope. You got to believe that your efforts can matter, and they can. One person that you smile at tomorrow could have an impact and make a difference in that person. One person you say hello to. We'll do that video. It's called kindness. It's a way you can have an impact. Maybe we'll do kindness right after this today. Hope. You need to believe that your actions can matter and improve the future, that they can have an impact, make a difference, and they can. I'm telling you, they can. You may not see it, and you don't have to see it. You may not ever hear about it. You just take the actions and move ahead. Don't worry about the outcome so much. 1, set goals related to your own personal growth. Now, we believe in personal growth. And she talks about social media, in this world of social media. Some people start comparing themselves to others. You don't need to go on social media and look at unknown people that you don't even know and worry about what they're doing, unless it somehow motivates you. I mean, it doesn't. I'm focused on being a better version of myself a year from now. So you can do it that way. I think internally you just want to be better than you were a year ago. 1% better, 5% better, whatever that is. That's my way. If it's for some reason motivates you to look at others, I really don't think that comparing yourself with others is good. I think, she talks about the nicer home, the stronger relationship, the more expensive vacation. Does that matter? If you're on your goals, it shouldn't matter. They're living a different life. They're not living your life. What they do on vacation or what they do, I don't know. So I guess some people, she's saying, look at this. If they have a relationship and you wanted to be married to a girl's listening and she wanted to be married and she's not married, keep going. Perseverance. Don't give up. Don't quit. If you want to get married, go find a guy and get married. A good guy. So you want to really compare yourself to yourself. Don't worry about what other people do. And this is a big point. We're going to stop here a second. Don't worry about what other people do. One thing you can do, though, is get excited for your good friends and close friends, right? When they do something phenomenal, you can cheer them on, encourage them, say, great, fantastic job, and this is why it was great. For example, Courtney Turner did a phenomenal job on her Cause Fest. We'll mention that here. Enjoyed it. Franklin, Tennessee. Fantastic. So we'll cheer her on right now. So, of course, persevere. A study found that students are much more likely to persevere when they're focused on personal growth. I think that's true rather than trying to do better than others. Why would you worry about what others are doing? Cheer them on. Don't worry about it. Just stay in your lane, stay on your goal, and get it, because you're going to do it differently, right? So just stay in your goals. Doesn't matter what other people are doing. Forget it. Build them up. Build up others and hope they reach the top. Hope your friends definitely reach the top. You should be building and encouraging your friends. Say, get it, get it, get it, right? You should be encouraging your friends and hope they go as far as they can and reach their potential. So remember, it doesn't matter if you're doing better or worse than everybody. We believe that. We're all a different part of our journey. That's true. I just said that, right? You're at a different part of your journey. You have different goals. It doesn't matter what someone else is doing. Don't look if it bothers you. Or look if you can cheer them on and help them better themselves. By looking, you can help them and say, hey, great job. 2, break down goals into manageable components, right? Don't get overwhelmed. We're going to raise $150 million. Say, hey, why don't we start with $100,000 we're raising? Or what? I don't know what the goal is. Why don't we write 5 pages a day? Whatever the goal is, don't look. And number 2, aside from breaking the goals down, don't always get caught in the outcome. You're going to get better by taking action. And that's the main thing, right? Personal growth, not the outcome. Students who created markers of progress for a long-term research has proven found to be very effective. So set small goals. Understood the individual parts of the greater goal, worked through difficulties they had with a clear mind and in. Walter Elliott's famous words: perseverance is not a long race. It is many short races, one after the other. Figure out your why. We talk about the why. You want to have a big why. Why are you doing it? To have an impact, to make a difference, to have friends. What is it? We've seen perseverance is most powerful when combined with passion. We just said that. Research. Focus on efforts over results. Yes. You've read Mindset by Carol Dweck. This tip will seem familiar to you. Yeah, we like to say the process. Focus on efforts over results. So the process, Nick Saban calls it the process. I've read his biography. He doesn't want the guys looking up at the scoreboard. So don't be always looking at where you're at. Just see if you're going forward a little bit, or that you're getting better, right? Because look, if you're getting better and you're building skills, you have a larger chance of success in the future on each endeavor. So what you want to be doing is getting better. Be careful of materialism and outcomes and big houses and big cars and all that material. And work on yourself. Get better. You become the man you're supposed to become. Many of the things will work out well, I believe. Okay? Just become the man you're supposed to be. Reach your potential. Don't worry about other people's potential. Reach your potential. Do what you can. No reason to compare yourself. In fact, perseverance is closely related to the growth mindset described by Dweck. Mindset is basically the belief that you can learn to become better at anything with practice. Some people hold this belief. So you can get better at things. Some things you're going to be naturally suited for. So what does she go on? This author said skills and qualities aren't fixed. You can get better at certain things. You can get better. Now, you're going to have predispositions. Some things you might not ever be great at. You might just be able to get a little better. But there's going to be some things that you can get really good at, right, that you're made for. So have a growth mindset. And she said, fixed mindset people aren't naturally inclined to persevere. So know that you can get better. For example, she said, a teacher would say you work so hard to prepare for that test. So here's a way to encourage your friends. If you find your friend doing something well, say, hey, all the effort and energy you put into that business worked out well. You did a good job, right? You worked hard and it paid off and your life's going well. 5, ask for positive and immediate feedback. Now listen, we have fellow knights, we have men in the groups, we should be building them up. Ideally, we should be able to persevere on our own, but of course, a few kind words. We're going to go into kindness next, I can tell. You should build up your fellow knights, your fellow men in the groups, your friends, and maybe they'll build you up too. But it's a good, kind thing to build up others. Best way to do this, to help people, positive, immediate feedback. So give positive, immediate feedback. That's a good quality to give to your friends, especially your close friends. Meet a guy with a cigar and ask him to do that for you, right? Say, hey, listen, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Sit down, reflect with him. 6, reflect on and revise your work often. Okay. Look back, see what you're doing right and wrong, evaluate if you're going in even in the direction you want, she says. So you want to be on the right and change tactics and strategies if you're not, right? Are you even doing what you want? If you're suffering through this and you don't even want to do it, it might be time to stop, right? Is the goal still worth the effort? What's working best for you? Okay. So perseverance, you know all the whys, you know how perseverance is good for you. We said it in the second video. Men need perseverance. It's a manly virtue. So work and increase. Have more perseverance at the end of this year than you did last year. The next year, have a little more. Keep building up, right? Growth mindset. Work on that. Don't compare yourself to others. Just make yourself the best you can be. Okay? Find out your goals. What are you going to work on? What are you going to use perseverance on? Your relationships, your friendships, your male friendships, your career. What are you going to do? Increase in it. Thank you. If you like this video and our mission, help, like, subscribe, share, pass around. Thank you.